It's your girl Alexis with Sip and Speak Sessions. I got my guest here, my grandma. I have my stepsister Drew. I have my college friend Kenny, and I have my best friend that from back in high school, Victoria. So we kind of gonna talk about a little bit of everything. So prepare yourselves, whether you gotta smoke or drink, it don't matter. Pick your poison. Calm your nerves. But the first topic we're gonna get into is what do you do when you realize that you're compromising your love languages in a relationship, like they're not getting met?
So if you're in a relationship, or you just like fuck buddies or something? What's the
In a,
what do you
well, if you want to answer for both, you can, but this one was specifically like more relationship.
more relationship? Okay. Why are you laughing at me, Kenneth? I'm for real. She didn't tell
I'm
you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm ready.
Okay.
So who wants to answer?
If your needs aren't being met.
So
Okay.
love languages, like we were talking about the other day, Drew, when we were saying like whether it's your love language is communication or it's physical touch, or for you, crazy talking about it's got to be gifts. And there's
Not
different.
not like gifts like if I like something unexpected, like you clean up something and I didn't ask you, something like that. Not like gifts, like
Oh, like acts of
stuff like
service is for
that.
you.
Yeah, acts of service.
I got you.
What do
That's
you
real.
mean gifts? Like when you make like coochie coupons or something? What? That's a gift.
No, that is a gift. That is a gift.
That is a gift. The gift,
That is a love language.
the
That could
gift
Men
that keeps on
love the.
giving.
I'm
yeah.
telling you, guys, men love the coochie coupons, especially if you make them. If you take the time to make them for like Valentine's Day, make
Yeah,
them and
it means a lot more.
Oh yeah.
wrap them up pretty. Spray your scent on there, and
Mm.
and put a thong in there with it.
Oh
Girl,
yeah.
they nose be wide open, honey.
I believe I
I,
believe it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and kind of chunk a spear out here. I think if I'm in a relationship, I
Mhm.
think if I feel like I'm compromising my love language for my partner, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I would actually, communicate, talk about it, say like, hey, I feel like, my particular love language is not being met, even though I feel like even possibly I may be meeting hers. And, I would just be open to dialogue and, be willing to kind of put it out there to see if we can come to a point of where, you know, because sometimes people may not even know. Sometimes people may not even know
Right.
because they're getting what their needs and wants met in a relationship or an interaction, and it kind of leaves an odd man out. So I would communicate honestly if I'm actually in a relationship with that person, and see where we go from there. Now, if this is somebody I'm just boning on the side, just boning or whatever, then I mean, honestly, I'll be real. I care about people's feelings too much. So I even then, if it's just I'm just that kind of person, I still would have a conversation with them and be like, hey, whatever we're doing here in this little microcosm between me and you, if hey, it ain't reciprocated. Let's work on these couple of these things. So
So it does matter in just an entanglement. We're gonna call it an entanglement.
mm,
Yeah.
what are those? I'm just kidding.
Would that matter? Like at some like if say and you like and I'm saying this is consistent sex.
Hmm.
This is not just like,
A
oh,
one-time thing.
I seen you 3 months later, and it's like, oh, well, we feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about consistent dick.
I just feel like I feel like if you're not connecting on all cylinders, it's not gonna work. Something's gonna. something that is going to blow up. You gotta have that communication. You gotta connect on all cylinders. You're not going to connect on all cylinders all the time, but if you're in a relationship, I'm not talking about fuck buddies, but in a relationship, you got to have that communication. You got to, you know, be in a position to meet each other's needs mentally and physically.
That's right.
Just do.
Vic, did you have an answer?
I pretty much agree with everybody else at this point. I mean, if you feel like you compromising your love language, I mean, the best way to do it at first is approach it and let it be known that, hey, something ain't right. And then, I mean, after that, if it don't work, then it don't work. It's-
That's fact. Because some people may not feel comfortable, like,
Hmm.
I've been
satisfying.
in that situation. Let me just be honest. I've been in that situation. Okay, I've been in a relationship where my love language was not being met, and it took me a while. It took a while for me to say something, and then when I finally did, it caused issues. And in the end, it didn't work out. So, I mean, it's better to be honest about what's not being met and letting it be known versus holding it in. Because if you hold it in, then that can lead to worse damage. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
not even just that. You got to, like you said, even though you let it probably didn't work out because you let it be known. It would have happened eventually anyway because you had dissatisfaction about something, and so it probably would have not worked out eventually anyway. You
Hmm.
know, no relationship. I'm telling you, no relationship is perfect. It's going to be perfect. But if you can communicate and make a commitment to talk about things out with your partner,
Hmm.
and you know, it's just better that way.
absolutely.
Now, if your love language is physical and a person's not satisfying you, you got a problem.
Yeah, because for me, like, it's communication and physical, like, they're even, like, number one. Like,
Right.
that's the way I share my affection. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But it's kind of finding a place where, because it's like, typically guys have a high sex, like, people think guys have a high sex drive, but women have a high sex drive as well. So
Of
sometimes you
course.
gotta
That's
find
facts.
that sex drive. So for me,
Absolutely.
it's like, I'm willing to meet you somewhere if your sex drive is not as high as mine, but I would like to see some effort. you
Into
know,
trying to reach where I'm at.
if
Yeah,
you're a
I feel
person that has a low sex drive and we can only do a certain amount of times a week,
that. Wait.
I don't like quickies.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
I can't stand quickies. I
I
hate
can't stand. Oh, I can't stand quickies.
I
But
hate quickies because I'm a control. I put it like this. Everywhere I'm the kind of person who understands in life and in the world, you can barely control things that happen.
hmm
But when it's time for that moment, when it's time to, for everything to go down, it's this is my domain. I don't want to sense any sense of time. I like to get lost in that whole process of
Right. And
I
you
get
can't
ready
get
to
lost
do
in
it.
that 5 minutes.
no,
Yeah, I can't get lost in 5 minutes. I need honestly, I'll be real with you. I need a day, a two. That's because you know what I'm saying. I need that time because I want to make sure that as long as you good, I'm good. And if it take all, hey, it
Tell
just
you.
hey.
Sometimes when you ain't got time, ain't nothing wrong with a quickie. Sometimes
There's all kinds of
with
things
a
wrong with that.
see, yeah, we're
ain't
not
nothing wrong with a
downplaying if
quickie.
you ain't got time. We're not
Sometimes
downplaying.
ain't nothing wrong with a quickie. Sometimes all you want to do sometimes is bust a nut and then go on and you good.
We
Right,
get it.
right.
If you don't have the time, that's one thing. But if you have the time,
That's
I mean,
different.
no.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
what I
whole.
was referring to, because some people, when they do have the time, they still have a quickie,
Yeah.
and
No,
that
no,
ain't
that's
that ain't it, boss.
out. That's out. That's all the way out.
Yeah. Okay, next question. We're gonna talk about something else. Go ahead.
Does sex on the first date kill the chances of having a relationship?
Yes,
I say
Right.
yes.
I say
Why?
I
yes because me
because I
personally,
think. Go ahead.
I feel like you gave it up too quick. Way too easy.
Mm.
Exactly. I think guys, even though guys said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. We gonna be still talking," and they still remember that. I think guys still look at that. So I
Right.
say yes, because I think in the back of their minds, even though they wanted it and stuff, but still in the back of their minds, well, I don't know. She gave it up. Like if she gave it up that quick to me, has she given it up to other motherfuckers in the past? Is this the type
Exactly.
of woman I take home to mama? No.
Hmm.
Right.
I get
Honestly, I like the little cat and mouse thing. I like the cat and mouse just a little bit, just a little
The
bit.
little
Where
check, ain't nothing. The chase and the hunt. That's the fun part of
that's the
when you
fun
get.
part.
It's the chase and the hunt, and then when you conquer, it's like yes, let's
Exactly.
put the work in.
You
Put a
get more
little work.
pride out of it. You get more pride out of it because it's like
Yeah, put a little work in.
I
effort.
hmm. Hmm. This is a two-pronged thing here. I think it also, I think it really, honestly, for me personally, it depends on what kind of relationship this is. You know what I'm saying? If honestly, if this is somebody who I've got, like, I'll even go to far as my last relationship. My last relationship, I remember I had seen and gotten to know this person for, for a minute. I think maybe a period of like 3 or 4 months. And then it just so happened, we're in the same place, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, everything was flowing, everything was great. And then after that, honestly, I'll go ahead and say this on record. I know you ain't supposed to really say this. People be like, "Oh, you simping." I don't care. Yo, this was probably the best sex I ever had in my life up till now. And I'll go ahead and say it. And honestly, after that, I still wanted to see her again. Did I show my ass a little bit, as most niggas do when they get into some things? Yeah, sometimes we do. Because sometimes we'll say we want something, but we really don't. But then we really do. We just try to act, be fronting a little bit. But honestly, though, I didn't see her as a point of like, I'm good on that, or like, I already got that. Like, I'm trying to see what the next thing is.
No, you
I,
wanted it again, but you wanted it again because the shit was good. Now, after 3 or 4 times when you're used to it, you probably like, I mean, you got to really think in your mind, is this somebody I want to get serious with? Maybe you want to get serious with, because maybe she made your nose wide open,
you're right.
possibly.
But what if she only was open like that with just him?
I
Right.
think difference, but how he gonna really know that?
Right. That's the thing.
Communication.
How does the other person really know?
I think as a man, honestly, just to be real with you, whenever I go into a situation, I never worry about the last dude that she was with, because this is kind of my time to really, you know,
Mm-hmm.
make, I hate to say make a good impression, but like at the end of the day, really show like, yo, I'm into you, I'm fucking with you, like I'm trying to see what you're all about, you're trying to see what I'm about. And in
Mm-hmm.
in this point, at this certain point of where where our dealings are, not worried about the last dude you was with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not really worried about it. I'm just trying to stay in the moment to let her know that I'm invested. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
that's just me. Again, this ain't
No,
law.
I
I'm
think that
just
might be guys, though. That might be a couple of guys that think like that.
Okay. Let me see. Are they Christmas cards or regular cards?
Girl, no, you did not. Just talk about some Christmas cards.
Okay.
Talk to me.
do y'all feel? Ooh, hold on.
But Drew, answer a question.
Okay, what's the question? What's the next question?
No, this question was, does sex on the first date kill the chances of having a relationship?
No. I mean, yes, it kills it. I'm saying yes.
Why?
I think because, you're trying to show that you're kind of different and it makes you easy. I know, so I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I don't. Everybody like they
Want to play a little
specifics.
hard to get.
Everybody's different. I wouldn't do it. Huh?
I was like that, kind of like
What'd you say?
playing hard to get, in a sense. Like you gotta earn this pussy, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel like we would look at y'all differently if y'all did give it up?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Really?
I
Yes.
think,
Yes.
and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Definitely.
I think men are so judgmental when it comes to women and their sexuality.
That's
Like, for
true.
example, y'all hate, like, we're looked at like pearls, like rare jewels. Like, no, you shouldn't have that many bodies. Because if you got too many bodies, I don't want you. Like, that's how dudes really look at women. So I think if we go, I'd be like, hold on, where's this rare jewel that I'm supposed to work hard to polish up and achieve? And it's like, hell yeah, y'all would judge us. Y'all be so judgmental. Because when it comes to women and our sexuality, it is judged.
And honestly, that just comes from the society that we live in. It's just honestly of how women are held to a higher standard with their sexual expression than men. Men were, as I remember, I forgot what it was. I think it was maybe Eddie Murphy Raw, which is one of my favorite stand-ups. And he was saying that he said men are trained and in our DNA is to conquer pussy. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to
Right.
conquer. That's the notion that society gives us as men. And honestly, even to some, even in certain relationships with, even like if we have fathers or whatnot, like my father never told me this really, but but I've heard other people saying like, yo, my dad told me, yo, get out here and Mac, do what you're supposed to do, knock down as many chicks as you're supposed to, yada, yada, yada. And then when they have a daughter, it's like, yo, don't do anything. Have sex when you're 40. Like, it's that kind of shit. So,
Yes.
but I'll be real with you. Maybe this is just me, but I've never been hung up on how a woman chooses her sexual experience or history and how she chooses to express herself. Because again, we all have the freedom to do that. You know what I'm saying? We all have the freedom to do that. It's their experience. Their experience shapes who they are as a person. So I don't think you should never. I think as men, I think we kind of got to knock that down to not negate, and not just men don't have that double standard.
Because even when a woman doesn't have as much experience, she's judged. So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're saying, oh, damn, you got too many bodies. But if a woman ain't got any bodies or little to no bodies, it's like you looking at her like, oh, she ain't got no experience. She don't know how to make me come. So, but then when she makes you come,
Hey.
and when you underestimate somebody, you almost kind of ruin your experience that you're about to get. So sometimes you just gotta go in like, let me see, surprise me. You know what I'm saying? Show me what you got.
Right.
You got to go in with an open mind instead of prejudging both sides, whether it's little to no experience or a bunch of experience.
Right.
Jesse want to say something about sex on the first night. Go ahead, talk about it, man. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sex on the first night. What you think? Yeah.
Sex on the first night. Ain't nothing really wrong with it. Just,
So you agree with it?
If the mood is right, y'all just do your thing.
And then if a girl do it on the first night with a dude, how would you look at her? What do you think she is? Fast?
Nah, she's just,
What is she? Nothing?
If she feels she ready, then she is.
So you got on the first night, then that's it? That means you good?
I wouldn't try to do it on the first night. I try to wait 3 weeks. You gotta, your seed is pretty much your energy. So you gotta,
Talk to the
not
phone,
not
man.
protect your energy, but you gotta hold on to it and make sure the person that you release it in is the right one. Because when you have sex all the time, it's called STD. It's like what is it? Like a transmitted disease or something like that, sexual demon or something like that.
Hmm.
So if you have sex with somebody, you pass that energy on. Just say you have sex with somebody, y'all do it, bam. Now you feeling all down and depressed. That's because the energy that the person got from another
Hmm.
person gave it to you.
Yep.
I feel like
You gotta be very careful. That's poetic because you gotta be real careful about the
yeah,
energy that you're mingling with when it comes to sex, because
Man.
absolutely,
uh, uh,
absolutely.
uh. Sorry, that was a word.
No,
Woo!
it's real. That's real.
That's why
Facts. All
that's why I'm
facts.
single now. Shit. Um. hmm.
I'm really upset that I can't do
So,
this on my laptop.
so the next question is, why is there a double standard when it
Oh,
comes to men having cougars and women having sugar daddies? Why is there a double standard? Like,
oh
women get
shit.
looked at like, why you dating this old ass geezer? But the dude, oh shit, you didn't got you a trophy right now. Like you got you a cougar. She fine. She got a little change that she slides your way once a week. But when a girl do it, like, what is she dating an older fine man? Why can't older men be fine? It's such a double standard.
Look,
I
y'all
don't
go
like
ahead.
I don't like them too old because they creep me out because they remind me of like dirty old men. Talking about, I'll chase you around this house, girl. You can't even lift your toothbrush, brush your teeth. Talking about
Shit, I can name a couple of celebrities that's older and they could be my sugar daddy any day of the week. I am available Monday through Sunday from 5
no.
a.m. to 11:30 p.m.
And now they be, but now these old men, they on Viagra, as they say. I got some Viagra, girl.
So,
Got that pill
but
Viagra.
I don't know, these 75-year-old men nowadays, they changing the game. They going
Shit,
to the gym. They
I
shit.
doing
don't, I don't want to see no man boobs and wrinkled. If they wrinkled man, I don't mind a little man boob, but wrinkled man boobs, ugh, yeah.
Look, there's this fine sugar daddy. He went by the name Mr. Steal Your Grandma. He was fine.
I
I
remember
mean,
that dude. Yeah,
Like,
everybody was talking about that
he
dude.
was in,
I
I
remember.
think he lived in Houston or something. He was in his 70s. I said, shit.
what I can see that. I mean,
But
but
but that's a
a lot
rarity
of times,
though.
a lot
Not
of
as
times,
much. Not as much as it used to, because now these older men know how to get these younger women. And they said, let me keep in shape a little bit because that's what she wants. She want a little some to look at too. So that they didn't figure out the damn game. That's why they look so damn good. I was like, I've never seen this many sugar daddies look this fine. Because
yeah,
normally they look dusty.
because they work out and everything now.
Yeah.
But I'm older, but I don't like youngsters. I don't like them too young. I'll take them maybe
I was just
six
about to ask
years.
you.
6 years. Uh, I'm
What if
61.
what if somebody was 40, between 40
Nope,
and
nope,
45? You wouldn't date them?
nope, nope, nope.
Why?
Too young. They
Oh
too young.
wow.
We don't have the same mindset. I mean, we don't have the same mindset. We don't look at things in the same way. You know, we wouldn't
Could
have a lot in
you,
common. Excuse
could
me.
you
I
use
feel
somebody who was 50?
50's kind of borderline for me. I mean, I get hit at all the time, but for my age, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I do though. But
no flex on
y'all
them.
see
Go
y'all
ahead.
seeing me look kind of raggedy, but I can dress up well. But no, but 50's kind of borderline with me.
Mm.
But
Okay.
6 years younger. You know, no
Mm.
more than 6 years older. And
Ah,
even 6 years older, they got to be in shape and stuff. That's like pushing it because like an old creepy man just creep me out. They creep me out ever since. Remember your Aunt Linda, Cheryl's mom?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget. She used to always date older guys. And she said every time she used to have sex with this old guy, he passed gas for a half hour. And that always stuck in my mind. He was strange. I'm serious. And he told me that years ago, and that always stuck in my mind all these years.
That's funny.
I can't do that.
Yo, let me say this though. I will say, honestly, it's a double. I'll say why there's a double standard because I know for sure from me how I used to think and for sure was just like, yo, you dating this old dude, like you got somebody young over here that's in your age bracket. Why don't you, give a nigga a shot? You know what I'm saying? Because that's honestly what it really is because we feel sometimes it may be competition. It's competition really. Because a lot of times an older dude has a lot of things that we like. I'll even take it back to even when we were younger. Like I remember we were in high school and some of the girls that was in our grade or whatnot, our age, was dating these college niggas and stuff, right? And so it was like, yo, why you dating this college nigga when you got somebody over here that can, then over here, this nigga probably over here got about 4, 5, 7, 6 chicks over here. I'm over here lonely like a motherfucker, and you ain't. But
that's because they got a car. With a full tank. I'm just playing.
But I will say this though. I remember my sophomore year at HT. I remember going out one time and older woman, hit on me and whatnot, was at the club downtown. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And I'll say this, dating somebody older, it definitely was like, I'll say it's one of the best times of my life at that time. Shoot, she had a whole house.
Well, they can teach. Yeah, they can teach. Older women, they can teach you something. Well, older woman is different. An older woman, you go out to the club, and some of these older women look good too. Now they in shape, they established, they got good jobs, they got their home, and plus they'll get up 4 o'clock in the morning, cook you breakfast. Them young chicks, they won't do that. They're like, shit, nigga, I ain't cooking for you. No, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
A more seasoned woman, they'll be like, baby, what you want? You want grits or you want potatoes? You want bacon or you want sausage? You want wheat toast or you want sourdough toast?
Oh, wow.
Hello. Let me tell you something. This right here.
Catch this fucking wheat bread and be happy. The fuck?
You see this right here?
Alexis, did you say wheat bread? Did you say wheat bread, Alexis?
Wheat bread. What's it called?
I'm over you. I'm over you.
Y'all, let me say this. This right here, while everybody was like drinking, let me show you how we was back then too. Everybody was drinking Taka vodka and all this other shit back in those days and stuff. Cause you didn't have no money when you was on campus. Y'all pitching get a little bottle of Taka vodka or whatever at Bob Marley's.
Get in where you fit in. Yeah.
This right here. And if I was thinking enough, if I was back when I was drinking more, and she introduced me to the Blue Label Johnny Walker. Oh shit! Like my life changed. They show you some things. You know what I'm saying? So
for me in college, it was always some damn Amsterdam all over the place, and I'm like, I need the brown liquor people because I got I do not like vodka. I don't. So for some odd reason, I'll drink gin and juice.
See,
me and dark liquor don't too much get along, Lexus.
I know.
I mean, I've gotten better over the years, but so far, me and dark liquor don't get along.
I prefer tequila.
I used to drink dark liquor like
tequila makes me feel
honestly, I'm not when it comes to drinking, I'm not a real drinker. I'm more of a smoker than I am a drinker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if you drinking that Johnny Walker, that's a mature person's drink. That ain't no youngster drink. That ain't no youngster drink.
That's bait. That's bait to
What's
catch a cougar.
that's a man's drink.
Let's go
That's
ahead, bring.
a mature.
Uh-uh.
Okay. So, damn, we
Hmm.
only got one guy on here,
Can't
so
really.
this is targeted towards you, Kenny. All sex aside, what the hell do men want?
Jesse, tell them
Aha.
what they want.
Hey,
After him. After him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Go
let
ahead.
my homeboy get
Let's
on
see y'all
here.
do.
Yeah.
Go on there.
Jesse,
He ain't one
what
of the
do
only
men
He
guys.
just
Let's see
yeah.
what you.
besides sex?
But hey, want me to go? Or
Anyone. Go ahead, talk.
what was the
Go
topic?
ahead, my man.
What do
What was the
men
topic?
want besides sex?
What do men want?
What do men want? And a woman, they want me somebody,
What?
feel me, that's gonna wake up every day, 4 o'clock in the morning,
What?
cook breakfast in the morning.
4 o'clock in the
You feel
morning?
me? When I come, cook me breakfast and I go to work, make me lunch, for work. When I get off work, I run about the
Man.
bath water. That I fix up the bath water now for. She had to have the dinner ready
What's
for
wrong
me.
with drug addict?
See,
I'm not a drug addict.
she gotta,
What?
And that's not even what this
if
is
she
I'm
got a
for.
sorry.
little kid,
Excuse
she
my
gotta go
excuse
to
my background, y'all.
That's not what
All
this
you
is
hear is I'm
for.
not a
This is
drug
for
addict.
scandal.
What?
Oh, I didn't know who that was coming from. I thought that was you. I was like,
My
what?
brother is in the car on a Zoom on a video call as well.
I
That's
don't.
what's in the
Okay.
background.
Hey, Isaiah.
Oh, okay. So,
Sex
Kenny,
education.
what do men want?
Ah.
Education level.
All right.
I can
There's a
find
lot.
something.
Honestly, let me just say it like this.
Keep it a buck.
Men want some. We want someone. Number one. Honestly, to be real with you, somebody that's not necessarily going to. There it is. Sorry, I had to find the right words for it. Somebody who is going to accept us for who we are, but still be able to challenge us. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like
Yes.
feel like the core of a person never changes. Like you know who you once you realize who you are, like your core never changes. Like you know who you are as a person, but you can always grow and you can always change and you can always get better. And I feel like anytime that I've looked for what I've always looked for in a woman is somebody who I'm always a person who's always looking for the next thing. I've never always been like complacent or never been satisfied to where I was in life. I've been thankful and grateful for where I am in life, but I always was like, okay, what's the next thing? You know what I'm saying? What's the next thing? How can we get better? How can we make this better? And so I feel like for me and for a lot of other, guys in my circle, we want somebody that not necessarily was going to be there, was going to support us, was going to be there, but also challenge us at the same time. Because I've always been like raised with the notion of like a woman, especially black women. I'm gonna go ahead and say it like this: Black women are the best at saying, at best, that when a man says, "Oh, I'm this," or "I'm this," or "I stand on this," or "I believe in this," sisters, y'all have the gall and the grit to really test us and really see if we really believe what we say we are, if we are who we say we are. You know what I'm saying?
All the time. We gonna
Are you
challenge them.
are you
We
married?
are.
Somebody better
We
marry
don't.
that man. You married? Somebody better marry that man. You married?
I'm single. I'm straight up single.
Somebody better get that man. Anyway, I think there's a lot of things that you really want about a person, but I heard a phrase that pretty much sums it up for me. I want the person, not that I can just live with, but the person I can't live without.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
I feel
want.
that. I feel that.
That's what I want.
Drew,
Hmm? What'd you say?
what do you want as a woman?
I don't really. What I want is somebody just to be there by my side because everything I want, I gotta ask God for it. A man cannot do it for me. He is just there as, and you know, I pray to God. I don't pray to a man. If he want to be there with me on my journey, that's good for him, and we can connect as one. But other than that, I don't really need a man. It's good that I have someone on my side, but I look for God for anything that I want. And
Amen.
so if I want something in someone, I just ask God for it, and He'll deliver it to me. Other than that, I'm pretty settled because a man can't really make somebody happy. A man can't really. It's all about the inside of you, how you feeling, and
Hmm.
if you're looking for a man to make you happy or make you feel something, it's not gonna work. It's all about God. So I look to God for anything that I need and anything that I please. Other than that, I'm pretty satisfied.
Amen. Amen.
Amen on
What you,
that.
what you want, Vic? What you want?
Honestly, I just want good, good communication. I just want good vibes. You know what I mean? No drama. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, there's gonna be a little drama here and there, but that constant drama on a daily nagging, I can't deal with that. I can't.
Right.
Now that I've been in a almost 7 year relationship. Okay, I'm 27, so I spent damn near all of my 20s in a relationship to one person, and in that relationship, I found a lot of things that I liked and I didn't like, and um, what I'm looking for is just self love. I noticed that once I got out of my relationship, I didn't have no self love for myself. You know
Mm.
what I mean? All the love I was giving away to everybody but me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was so depressed a lot and sad and just in this hole. And now I feel like I'm climbing out of that hole because I'm giving myself the love that I should have given myself in the very beginning. You
That's
know,
right.
Ooh.
uh, to piggyback off what Drew said, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, God is going to provide me for what it is that He sees fit. You know what I mean? No matter what it is, I may want something, I may want one thing, but God gonna give me something completely different. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's all about self love. It's all about self love. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody, and can't nobody love you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's really what I'm focused on now is self love.
Like that's what I'm living right now is like self-love, but if I'm referring to like what I would want in terms of like a relationship, I just want somebody that God handcrafted for me, and they're out there, so it's like I don't look down on my past relationships. I just looked at them as those were like relationships specifically to teach me something so that when I get to
Yeah.
that finish line of here is your soulmate, this is who I made for you, and had you not gone through all these toads, you would have never been equipped with what you're equipped with now. You would have never known how to stand up for yourself. You would have never known how to walk away from something that's toxic. Like you would
Hmm.
never know your own identity had you not gone through all those things. So it taught me my identity, but for me, I want my partner to respect me as an individual while also coming together as in a union because my journey is different than my partner's journey. It's just a benefit that I'm holding someone's hand throughout it. But I just want
Right,
somebody to respect my identity because my next relationships that my partner, he's gonna have to understand that I am a busy person. I'm an entrepreneur trying to build an empire, you know what I'm saying? And it takes a very strong mindset to respect your time. And some people don't respect your time and they don't
Hmm.
respect and appreciate when you give your time. So I want that balance and that somebody that's like-minded like that can understand when I'm busy but appreciate that I will make time for the relationship.
I rock with that. Absolutely.
He out
Absolutely.
there. He out there. You'll find him.
Oh, I'm waiting,
Word.
honey. I ain't in
You
no
might
Word.
rush.
you might have to look outside of Texas.
Shit, I ain't looking outside of
Right.
Texas. No, I learned my lesson last time. I ain't doing that no
What
more.
you might look. Let me tell you. Yeah.
I dated outside of Texas and it didn't go so well.
I
Oh well,
understand.
you can't let one monkey stop no show. That's your
No,
problem.
I
you know what it did,
word.
but you know what it did, Mama? And sometimes, family members got to respect this. There are certain things that aren't your forte. Like for me, online dating isn't my thing.
You
I'm not saying
know.
you got an online. I'm
It-
not saying you got an online date. I'm just saying that person might be out there. He might be in a different state. That's all I said.
if we in a
I
different state, and we end up
I
living in the same
got one
state, then cool. But online
thing.
dating is not my
One monkey
thing.
couldn't stop no show. That's all I got to say.
I said what I
That
said.
you got to
Uh,
learn from. That's why people have experiences. You got to learn from your experiences.
right, and I learned my hell
If if
knows
if
and my
if
hell
if,
yes.
if if I let one person uh, make the trail for the life of my future, I'd be really fucked up. You can't do that.
No, but that's not saying that you're doing it that way. You're just learning certain things don't work for you as an individual. And that's not to say
Hmm.
that that's wrong or it's wrong that somebody else will be like, hey, I'm open to dating somebody outside of my state. But you do discover what is for you and what is not for you. And people just got to learn to respect the differences. There's beauty in that. For
Yeah,
me,
but
long distance is not for me, but I can respect somebody who they can tolerate that. That's your filter, that's your prerogative. It ain't my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
I can't do long
not
distance
eating me out.
relationships.
Yeah, but I know for me, nah, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
it
long
depends on how.
distance relationship take a lot of work, and me personally, I don't think I can handle a long distance relationship. But that
Yeah,
does not mean, you know what I'm saying, that I'm not knocking nobody who does lose long distance
Yeah.
relationships. You know what I mean? I'm not
You
knocking
know,
that.
get your
long
woman.
distance relationships, as you get older, when you're older, you'll learn how to appreciate it because I'm kind of in a long distance relationship. I love it because I don't want anybody up under me 24/7. And then when
I
I
Yeah.
feel
see
that
them,
too.
That's
I'm
prerogative.
happy, I'm thrilled. Ain't no room for arguing because you miss each other. And so when you're together, everything's peaches and cream.
True. True. I have
That's
a
true, but then when you're doing a long distance relationship, you also got to worry about, or I don't know about necessarily, I'm just saying in general, people got to worry about things like, is this person talking to, somebody else, or is this person
Yeah,
cheating on me, and also
you
this
well.
stuff. So,
that
Well,
could be anyone though. You
that
gotta trust whoever you're with. Somebody could
she's that.
be living next door to you and cheat.
Yeah.
very
My
true,
homeboy,
very true.
my best friend, my best friend, Alexis. You know who this is? My best friend got married, got engaged to his fiance, and she lives in Brooklyn. She lives in New York, and 8 million people. You know what I'm saying? New York City. You know what I'm saying? And he lives in Houston. You know what I'm saying? He lives in Houston. So and they've been together for about a year,
Mhm.
about a year, close to it. I'm gonna give them a year. It's usually been 10 months, but I'm gonna give them a year. I like to round up. So they've been together for about a year,
Hmm.
and they're engaged, and they're planning the rest of their lives together. Now, of course, there's a plan for them to be together and for him to move. But initially, yeah, it started out as you know a long distance, and that's a hella distance between Houston and New York, like New York City. But what I do admire about them is they had a really solid foundation first. And I was just like, and then Alexa, this is the best part. They met online too. And this is the best part. They met online. And it's like, whoa, shit. You met online and you niggas was in a long distance? Like, damn, like it was kind of one of those things where it was like statistically from the outside you would think that shit ain't gonna work. But again, to each his own. Everyone has their different situations, and when you get two of the right people in a situation that are willing to be on the same page and are compatible, because there's a difference between compatibility and chemistry. You can have great chemistry with somebody. I feel like you can have great chemistry with somebody. You can have good. I think that is like having a good time. You can key it up. The sex can be bomb and all the rest of the other stuff. But compatibility, I feel, is if you two are on, like you said, are kind of joined hand in hand on the same journey. Your journey may be different from each other. Like one person's goal is to be a lawyer, and the next person's is to be in something way completely different. That's okay. Okay, how can we make each other better for the future and to get you where you need to go? And we're doing this together. You know what I'm saying? So it can, like I said, it can happen, but also I like the fact that you're very self-aware in knowing what you can and can't handle. That's not to mean that you won't ever be that. You get to that point where you can handle a long distance or even be on online dating. Look, you need to try Bumble. It's popping. But anyway, the point of the matter is, if as long as you're very self-aware and you know where you are, I think that's a very powerful thing. Um, it's a very powerful thing to be very self-aware and to understand yourself. Because if you really know yourself, you won't be in any position to where you gon' there'll be any miscommunications with another person that you're dealing with.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I'm just dissecting it a little more. Well, why can't you do long distance anymore? And I think it's because the last two relationships I were in were long distance, and they were not equipped to handle long distance.
Yeah,
So that's something I'm learning to identify as well. Like you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. For me, I can handle long distance. I just don't prefer long distance. You know what I'm saying? Because again, my love language is physical.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, if you heard me earlier, that's like matched up as my number one
Yeah,
love
I am.
language. So
Yeah,
for me,
okay.
can I finish?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I just want to my thought. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I was saying, like that's my love language. So for me, when I realize when I'm now that I'm identifying they weren't equipped with it, it's just teaching me to recognize that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but what's wrong with recognizing that in somebody that may be long distance? You might be missing out on the best thing in your life just because you might say, okay, I'm not gonna talk to anybody long distance. That
And you know
no,
what God gonna do if I missed it? He gonna pop me upside my head and be like, "Now I done told you this was the way you supposed to go. So if I make that mistake, I make that mistake. But I'm not gonna sit here depressed like, dang, Alexis, you didn't miss the dough. You didn't. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, it's the end of the world. Because at
okay,
the end of the
yeah,
day, there's
but
another
okay,
door.
okay,
There's
yeah, okay,
always
but
another door.
what kind of door? You've been in Texas how long?
I have been in Texas for
What is
7.
Texas? What has Texas offered you?
Um, a very good soul circle of friends.
I was say,
Um,
how's
I'm
Texas?
not
I've
Hold
talking
up.
about.
created
I'm not.
a new group of family
I'm not
that
talking
acts
about.
like a
I'm not
family.
talking about that. I'm not talking
Well, you
about that.
asked me a question. You asked me, it was a
Man
general
wise,
question. You a
man
general.
wise, man wise, what has Texas really offered you?
I've had more of a dating experience in Texas than I have in California, if we're
I
gonna
know
keep it.
that because you're older, but I'm just saying.
So
But
that's what Texas offered
what
me. It
kind of
offered me
what kind of
maturity,
substance?
and it
What kind of
offered me
substance has
a
Texas
different dating pool that I actually prefer.
offered?
That's my answer. Are you looking for a specific answer that I'm not giving you? Because I just gave you two.
No, I'm just saying. I know you dated and stuff in Texas, but have you felt like you met somebody that you want to be in a serious relationship with?
Yes,
Have you been in a serious relationship with somebody in Texas?
yes,
How many times?
twice.
No, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
got real tense real quick.
But no, I
Because she's
get it though.
looking for
I
an
get the
answer.
conversation though.
I get what
Yeah.
she's saying, but she's looking for an answer that she's not gonna get. Like, yes, I'm in a
I
serious
know I know the answer
situation.
because I know
I
the
know I
answer.
see you're looking for one. I see it.
I know
It's
the
okay.
answer. I know the answer. I'm just
Thank you.
saying, I'm just saying your forever person might not be in Texas. That's all I'm saying.
And you know who
You
will
ain't met
only
him.
know
I don't
that? And
think
the
you've met
only
him. I don't
person
think you've met that.
right.
I
And
don't
the
think
only
you've met
person that knows that is the man upstairs. So if he guides me to
him.
somewhere else, then I'll handle it accordingly. But can't
Yeah,
nobody
but that's
tell
not
me.
what you said
Who
5 minutes
said
ago.
no
That's
human
not
being on
what you
this
said
earth
5
can
minutes ago.
tell me that, oh, this ain't
That's
it
not
in
what you
Texas.
said.
It
Also,
might be
that's not
somebody, it
what you said
might be
5 minutes
somewhere
ago.
else. Yeah, we
Five
don't
minutes
know.
ago. 5 minutes ago, you said, nah, nope, nope, nobody out of state, nope, nope, nope. Now you're
I
saying
said
wherever the Lord leads you.
if it leads me to go to a different state, that's not long distance if I'm moving to a different state. You can't
Mm-hmm.
flip my words.
Maybe I'm a little um I don't know how you put this, but I've always thought that we were supposed to find y'all. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were. I mean, I'm just being throwing
Well,
throw my $5 into the pond.
really, I feel like y'all
I,
find each other. It's not
I
necessarily
we
one
find
find
each
the other.
other,
Y'all find each other.
but I figure like I agree with you there that you find each other. But I'm thinking also when it comes to actually like okay, let me just throw this word out there. Everyone calls it intentional dating and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I just personally feel and believe that as men, especially if you're a person who is really in tune with your relationship with God, because that's how no one's relationship is perfect, but I can say that I'm working on it definitely for sure. I've always been taught that like, yo, we're supposed to be finding y'all, because at the end of the day, we're supposed to kind of lead in that sense. You know what I'm saying? I thought that's how I was always taught was that, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to chase after y'all in that sense. You feel me?
Hmm. And see,
So
from I'm in a family where it's a lot of very strong-minded women. So what I had to learn was to step aside out of myself to actually appreciate when a man does pursue me because I was more of like that powerhouse, like I'm gonna meet you too. Like sometimes I might shoot my shot first because I see the opportunity, and sometimes guys
I
aren't
ain't
used to
mad.
that because of like my background of very strong-minded women. That's kind of where it comes from.
Right,
But
right,
some stuff I had to unlearn, and some stuff I kept with me.
right. And it's funny you say that because I was raised by like both of my parents, like I had my dad and my stepmother. My stepmother is like my best friend. She's my best friend. I've known her since I was 2 years old. That's my mother. That's my mom. You know what I'm saying? And she's 5'1", 5'1", works at a federal prison, worked in the prison system since I don't know when. Like she'll knuckle up with you. You know what I'm saying? My dynamic with my parents was my dad was the nurturer. He was the one that's like, hey, let me talk to you. Mom, let's talk about this. My mom, she was the ass kicker. She was the ass whooper. She was ready to, hey, let's go. Let's get at it. But with, with that being said, my mom, even though she could do for herself, and she was like, I know how to do this, take apart this whole damn truck, and I can put it together my damn self. I can do this all on my own. That's what I
Right.
was raised around. But my mom said to me too, she was like, I can do all this. I can handle this whole shit by myself. But at the
Hmm.
same time, if I have a man next to me who says that he loves me or yada yada yada, why should I do this by myself? So I was always raised with the notion of, you know, men leading. My dad's not perfect. He's not a perfect person. I love him to death, and he is a leader. But in regards to that relationship, because they're divorced, she saw some things. She's like, I'm not feeling that, and she was right. He did some things, and she's like, I'm not feeling that. You ain't leading, so I got to dip. That's kind of like my example was for that. So I've always
Hmm.
had this notion of leading, but also letting a woman also dictate when she feels comfortable to lead, because for me to lead and give me that space and give her own space to be her own person, because sometimes some of these jokers is trying to run the whole show on y'all, and they ain't worthy. You know what I'm saying? They ain't worthy to be out here in these streets, so there's a lot of things that come with, there's a lot of layers to that.
Yeah, absolutely. The next question is, How do you rebuild trust in a relationship after it's been lost?
It depends on what caused it to be lost.
Okay. Hmm.
For example, for example,
Okay.
a lot of people, I, for me, I hear a lot of people say, if a person cheats on me, that's it. That's it. I'm out. No more. I don't do cheaters whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was one of those people. I was one of those people who said, if you cheat on me, that's it. You know what I mean? But then being hit with that situation, it was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay,
Yeah.
and now I'm actually in the situation. You know what I mean? So you you say one thing until you actually in the situation to where you gotta really make that decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it also depends on too, like, uh, it just depends on what happened for me to lose for you to lose my trust. You had to have done something really really big, really big.
So say they did cheat. That was the whole thing that lost trust. How do you rebuild?
I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very hard. My son's
It's
father was a
definitely is
big,
gonna be hard.
Like
yeah,
on a
my son's father.
day-to-day basis, what would they have to do to like bring that, give it an action? Like what's an action that they would have to do
Hmm.
towards
Actions
like
speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. You can say sorry all day. You can tell
They
me
have to,
you won't do it all day, but at the end
they
of the
have to
day,
not
it's
cheat.
what your actions show me, not really what your
Thank
lips say.
you. They have to show that they not
Ooh, I'm
gonna
a
cheat.
rapper. Ooh.
But what does that look like on a day-to-day basis? Because sometimes like say they get home a little late, you're gonna get mad suspicious. You know what I'm saying? So like what would
That's
they
not necessarily true because if I know that you out and you got a job, and I know that you feel me, but
but
it
say
just
they
depends.
say they had like a regular 9 to 5 job, right? And they just happened to not communicate with you that they had to go somewhere.
Well, if
And
they've cheated, if
after you just found out they cheated, so like, is there something for you that you like? I need more communication, like better communication.
yeah, you have to
Definitely.
tell you know what's been occurring in our relationship. So I would just appreciate. I wouldn't jump to conclusions right away, but I would appreciate that if you're gonna be late, take 10 seconds to send a text or to call. It's that simple.
Right. It's
And I'm
easy.
not saying that because I'm trying to keep tabs on you. I'm saying that, but based on what we just went through,
Right.
that's
Hmm.
something that that's something
You
you
want me to trust you, I need you to be able to communicate so that way I'm not jumping
that
to conclusions.
that's something you have to do.
Right.
Because if you tell me, hey, if you shoot me a text saying, hey, babe, ran a little late at work, gonna be a little late for dinner or whatever the case may be, that'll ease my mind versus you walking in the house late after I just caught you cheating. Now I'm like, okay, well, who the fuck was you with? Who's that bitch? You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
There's you,
communication is key. Communication can diffuse so many arguments. It's just that simple.
let me say this. Cause I'll be real with you. One of my most serious relationships that I was in, um, she cheated on me. I got cheated on, right? And it was the whole I laugh about it because she cheated on me actually a couple of times, and I still like took her back. I still was like willing to be like, okay, I understand, like, come on back. And I think that mainly that was honestly with some trauma with myself because of course that came from like my parents being divorced, my biological mother not wanting me, the whole nine, like,
Mhm.
things that allow you to stay in some shit that you should have left a long time ago, but you didn't because of past traumas and past shit you didn't deal with yourself and But I say all that to say this. It is a hell of a place to be in a position when I've been on both ends where I've actually cheated on, no, someone's actually cheated on me. And then I may have not have physically cheated on that person, but at the same time, I made that person feel less than because I was comparing that person to other women or other friends. You know what I'm saying? Like other people, women that were around. And
Mm.
it almost gave basically, I call it emotional cheating. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cop to it. The biggest thing is when you're trying to gain someone's trust back, whatever spectrum that you're in, you have to understand that it's not oh, I trust you again. Oh, no. It
Oh
is
no,
one of
that
it
definitely
is
takes time.
there was I think I forgot who it was because I watched I think it was Pastor Mike Tide, and he was this whole series that he was doing. It was talking about like like when it comes to trust is lost in buckets but earned back in like drops. Like you can easily lose someone's trust easy, but it's hard to gain that shit back. And I think
Yes,
if
it
two
is.
people who are in a relationship and they truly love each other, and honestly, it goes back to faith for me. Honestly, if two people are really deeply rooted in their faith, it's possible. It's definitely possible, but they have to understand that this is a long. It's a process. It's a process, and the person who is looking to gain forgiveness back has to understand that this is a process. You got to be in it for the long haul for that. So yeah.
Absolutely. What about you, Drew?
All right. So, can you hear me? So, for this cheating stuff, Jesse cheated on me before we got married, and I had to give him a space because it was gonna put me into a place that I don't want to go. So I had to step back, and so I have to let him do what he want to do because he's his own person. He's probably dealing with his own battles. He's probably has something that he has going on that I can't handle. So I'm gonna let him go on ahead, and he's his own person. I can't stop him for what he want to do. So I'm gonna let him go and do his thing, but I'm still gonna work on what I gotta do. I can't stop him from doing whatever he wanna do. He's his own person. And once he get his mind together, like he lost something that he wants, that's on him to come
Yeah.
and figure out what he needs to do because I know what I want to do. And if he want to mess up something good, then that's on him. I can't stop him. I can't control anything anybody else have inside them. If they don't want to talk to me, if they don't want to work it out and discuss it with me, I'm not stopping them. They know me. I know them. I just got to let it be. And if they want to come back and try to work it out, they got to know we have to sit down and talk and be straightforward. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take time. And if you really want to work it out and gain my trust back, I'm not going to give it to you right now. But if you want to work it out, we can work it out. That's all. And if you can understand that and move forward with it and promise me and we can go on with this not happening again, then it can work. We can just have that talk, basically. And if it all works out good and if they serious about it, that's
Mm.
it. That's all I
That's
can
real.
say.
That's real.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get you on that. I mean, my son's father, I forgave him. I'll just exaggeration a little bit, 99 times. But then when I was full and when I was done, he came back. He said, "I just need you to forgive me one more time." And I tell him, "I might have forgave you 99 times, but I don't have 100 in me. You know,
Mm.
I gotta go.
That's
This is my baby. I gotta go. This is my baby. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye."
Dang. See, that must have been her boo baby, her boo thing.
That's a boo thing.
The way she got off like that, she said, "This is my baby. I gotta go. Talk to you later. Bye."
That's
Like
that
she
cut
hung
off.
up quick.
kick her out. I can't believe she just cut us off.
She cut us off.
That
She
is
said,
funny.
Real
I
quick,
gotta go.
with
It's my
no
baby. Bye.
hesitation.
You
So
could have just said
there's
goodbye
this
before she hung up.
show.
Literally.
there's this show on OWN, right? And these couples have been together for a long time, but they're not engaged. I can't remember what it's called. So this is what this question is related to. So what would you do if you and your partner went to a therapist to help fix the relationship from being stagnant, and the therapist recommends that you date other people while you're still together?
Oh,
And it's not to say to go cheat, but there's a process to it. There's a lesson behind those dates. It's like to
The
teach
lesson,
you. It's kind of like
how to appreciate what's in front of you.
yeah, like the dates are like there to show you like, okay, like this is something that my partner used to do, but they don't do anymore. So now that I'm aware of that, because I just seen this in a whole new date, let me bring that to the table. That's what the therapist is trying to do. Would you do it?
This
No.
is one of those questions. This is one of those questions that I'm gonna say right now, no. Me personally, no. But getting in this, being put in that situation, if I'm really trying to work on the relationship, then I might have to reconsider. But being the fact that I'm single right now, I would have to say, nah. If a therapist recommends that me and my significant other date other people, at that point I feel like the relationship is over. Even if the therapist tells we gotta date other people, this ain't gonna work. You know what I mean?
I don't
But
even want to call it date other people. Go on one date.
be same difference, whatever. I
You
feel
said,
like if the therapist is telling me to see somebody else, that means you and I are not meant to be. That's just how I see
no,
it.
I feel like
But
you ain't
then
gonna never
again,
see them again. I mean, me personally, hell no, I'm not doing it because I don't
that's
share.
not necessarily
Me
true
neither.
though, because check this
Man,
out. But see, then
I
check
don't.
this out. Let's just say, okay, let's say I agree to go on this one date, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who's to say that I might not feel something for this person? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, no. And who's to say
But
that
Yeah,
my significant other not gonna find something that they like and that
but
that's
but
I
here's
don't
the
I'm
do
glad
thing.
that.
you brought
But
that
to
up
but to your
because
point. Oh,
there is a couple where this dude was just talking about this girl that he was on a date with nonstop. And his partner just over there looking at him like, okay, like you doing a little too much. Like you describing her from head to toe. And like all the other couples, they was like, oh, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care for it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even like my girl going on a date, but this dude, he
but you know what?
That means he want to be out. That
wasn't
means he
really
want
in
out the
it.
relationship.
That means that
It's almost like oh,
he was easily swayed on that. It wasn't solid. He wasn't solid with what he truly felt, like what he really felt. His heart was somewhere else. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like it. I, but you know what though?
Because
I
me,
will say.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You're good. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was
What'd
gonna
you do?
say like
Yeah, the
me
passion.
personally, I
One date.
couldn't I couldn't watch my significant other go on a date with nobody else, getting all cute and going out spraying they. I couldn't watch. No, no, because I'm gonna be like, okay, so you getting all extra cute for this person that you only go see this one time. I'm not feeling it. I'm not
You put
feeling
the
it.
drum. I'm just
Now,
playing.
now my
No.
question is, would you not want to go on the date? Want them to go on the date is because you truly, because sometimes it could be two things. Is it because you truly are like, no, I don't, that's a piece of me, going, I can't have that. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's really, in tight with me. And then some people are like, no,
It's something
because
that's boosting them for real, for real.
there it is.
Well, for me, it
But
will be a mixture of both.
even though you hear
For
the you
me,
hear the phrase, even though you hear that phrase of like, oh, if you lose them, they were never meant for you to begin with. That don't mean it don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? The flesh is
me
Absolutely.
weak.
personally,
It hurt.
to answer your question, Kenneth, to answer your
Hmm.
question, it's a mixture of both for me. Because
Hmm.
if I'm in a relationship with you and I'm fucking with you, you know what I'm saying? Then I feel like that's a me and you thing. You know what I mean? I'm fucking with you because I really like you. You know what I'm saying? You like me. We vibe cool. And I wouldn't want to see you all the way you are with me. I couldn't see you doing that with somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, yeah, we vibe cool. Yeah, we cool. But who's to say that this random person that you go on this one date with might actually show you something that I may have not shown you yet? You know what I mean? Or show you something that you didn't necessarily know you liked. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, now here you go tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, she really got me thinking, or like, I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
This is like a reminder, though, how it's so necessary and important to continue to date the person that you're with. And sometimes
Yes.
we forget to do
Yes.
that because I think the more you keep dating your partner, the more you're going to be able to learn the new version of them because there is never the same version of the person that you're with. Continuously date them, their likes and their dislikes are going to change over time. And with that dating piece, maybe once a week, twice a month, you learn something about that. And I think that's important to having longevity.
And it don't even necessarily have to be like extravagant dates. It could be something real simple like a
A
picnic at the damn
picnic,
park. I'm simple. I
give
like
me a
arcade.
blanket. Look,
I
give
like
me a
arcade.
blanket with a picnic. Give me some
You know what I'm
sandwiches.
saying? A little picnic basket. You know what I'm saying? We
Give
could
me
go
a
feed the
speaker.
ducks at the duck pond. I'm simple. I'm
Yeah.
simple.
Right.
I'm so
Let me
simple. You know what I mean?
let
Shit,
me
take me to a shooting range. That's a date too.
Oh my gosh,
Shit, fuck
no.
this truck. I'm not really into guns, but I'll shoot a Nerf gun for sure. I'll shoot a Nerf gun.
Baby,
You
get
go buy
that
some
right
Nerf
there.
gun. You
Get
go
that
The
shoot
right
a gun.
guns range is not that fun. Like, it is
there.
not that fun.
So here's one thing. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I disappeared. Somebody was trying to call me. I'm like, leave me alone. Um, so long story short, I remember with one of my previous relationships, I
Mhm.
had discovered something about myself, right? I discovered that. Is everybody still there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Really. I was like, what the hell happened to Fro? Okay, so I had discovered something about myself. Um I realized that I was a dominant. So like getting into the experimenting with, some of the
I don't
BDS
know
and
what
them.
there is. We unfiltered on this show.
What'd you say?
We unfiltered on this show. I don't know what that means.
Okay, so basically, getting into bondage, submissive, type of stuff, in regards to possibly not inflicting pain, but little discipline here and there, whatever. And just, testing limits and different things of that nature. Now, I had realized that I was like, yo, this is something that I'm kind of into. Not all the time, but I was, starting to, get into. And my girl at the time, she was just like, I don't know about all that. And at first, it was a real problem because I was saying, hey, this is something I kind of want to explore with you, only you, with you, nobody else but with you, because this is a thing. And what we did was we kind of like did the research together, and started off slow and then got to certain things where she was like, okay, let's do that. And I'm like, damn, okay. I just feel
Wait, what are
like,
we talking about? I'm sorry. I'm like way lost. What are
Talking
we
about
talking about?
BDSM.
Okay. Okay. This is okay.
Why you get so excited about it? Damn, have you experienced?
It's okay, wait. It's not about being excited. Let me tell you why I just got excited according to you, Alexis. My best friend Michelle, okay? She's really into this whole BDSM thing. Like she
yeah,
took a quiz, the whole 9 yards. She
yep.
had me take a fucking BDSM quiz, okay? I didn't know nothing about it. But I took the quiz and I found out a lot of interesting shit according to that quiz.
It told your life, didn't it?
It told me a lot, and I'm like, whoa.
What does it? Does the quiz tell you what you are?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
What you're
point.
in.
I took the quiz and it told me
Really?
percentages of
I'm gonna
what.
send it to
Yeah.
you, Alexis. I'm gonna send it
Okay.
to you.
Well,
It's
let me tell you. My quiz said that I am I'm submissive and aggressive. I like to be in charge and I can be submissive, which is very true. Okay,
Okay.
very true. I can be, and but
Hmm.
anyways, and it's a bunch of other stuff like it's certain terms that it says that I can't really explain, but when you actually read the description, you're like, wait a minute, what the
Yep.
fuck?
Yep. Like for
And then the
me,
questions that they ask you, wait, first of
yep.
all, I'm not into nobody slapping the. You slap me while we having sex, I'm beating your ass. I'm
Slap
sorry.
you with?
You slap me in my face while we
Oh
fucking,
yeah,
I'm beating
no.
your ass.
I thought you meant
I'm sorry.
slapping your
It's
ass. I was like, girl, you better
it's
get your ass slapped. But
okay. So
I've had my ass slapped. That's different. But you not gonna be slapping and spitting and doing all that shit to me. No, that's
because
out.
it grosses me
I'm
out
beating
how
your
they
ass.
be spitting in their mouth. Oh my
oh, like
God.
But you know,
now
people like that shit.
people like that. Yeah, absolutely.
People
The
like
thing about
it.
it is,
People like getting slapped up and choked out to the point where they can't breathe and spit on and no.
I
so
haven't
here's the
had one sexual encounter where like they have choked me. I've had like a little quick moment of a choke, but it wasn't nothing like aggressive. It was just it kind of intensified the orgasm.
wait. You've
Being
never had
choked
like
out
a
while you're
Hmm.
being choked out while you're having sex is one thing. I'm talking about really grabbing your neck and choking you to the point where you can't breathe. Like for a white
well.
person, they'd be red as my hat. No, that's out.
That's but here's the thing. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this because like I said, the thing with these kinds of things is number one, you have to talk it out with your partner, whoever you're having sex with. You gotta say, hey, this is my limit. This is my soft limits. This is my hard limits. I have a safe. If you're gonna do it, I have a safe word: red, green,
That's true.
yellow, chicken, tuna fish,
Pineapple.
orange juice, popsicles, whatever. You got to have a safe word in that bad boy. But it's really all about communication, and it's all about communication and understanding what your roles and what you like, honestly. Like for me, myself, I'm what they call a brat tamer. A brat tamer.
That's one of them. That's one
I
of them
like
terms.
I like being a master because those are my things. I like being dominant. I like telling someone what to do in that space. You know what I'm saying? But again, with your permission. If you're gonna let me do it, okay, I'm doing this with your permission and you're allowing me to go there. And I always check in because I'm always, even though I may be a dominant, I may be what they call a brat tamer. A brat tamer is basically when somebody got a little attitude, you can be like, oh, I'm gonna show you, and you bend them over and you get that ass. But the point of the matter is,
Yeah, you taming a brat. The hell?
yeah, but the
Shades
point
of
of the
gray.
matter is, the point of the matter is like it's all about communication, making sure that that person is well. But for me, I'm a people person. I'm a people pleaser. I like to make sure my woman is feeling good, and as long as you're good, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm worried about you. So,
That's not realistic though, but I
what do you
get
mean?
you.
What you mean it's
Because
not realistic?
women, we're going to worry about you. Y'all ain't got your shit to all the way together the way y'all say y'all do. Like we got to be worried about you because if we ain't worried about you, that's when shit start hitting the fan. Because that's when our worries are really called our intuition. And if we over there saying something, you might want to listen to it because we getting a feeling for a reason. And that's when shit be hitting the fan. So now I'm gonna keep worrying. Because I feel like the moment I stop worrying, that's when it's like all chaos. It's like, see, you should have said something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna continue.
And and honestly, that's I hate to keep going back to it, but the whole BDSM thing for
Yeah.
the person who's being a submissive, you know what I'm saying? That's the point where you can just be like, it's the point of like letting go of everything, basically. You feel me? In that moment, not in everything in all life, like hell no,
I'm
but just
like,
in that particular. in that particular moment, I just feel like sex is supposed to be a moment where you, especially if you with the right person, then you should just be like, I'm just not gonna care about a damn thing in this moment. You know what I'm saying?
See,
That's
me
how I
when it comes, so for me when it comes to sex, I want to be both submissive and dominant. I want to be able to have moments where I can do both. First of all, I don't want to just be because I don't want to just be the girl who just lays in their back and lets the man do everything. Nah. Plus, I know that the other person likes it when you take control too. You know what I mean? It has to be a balance of the two. Has to be a balance of the two.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, there are some times where I'm like, I'll stop him in the middle of him giving me pleasure, and I want to please him.
Man, I mean,
okay.
it has to be. There has to be a balance because First of all, I'm a female, but no man wants a female to just be a yes man all the time. Like,
Of course not.
and if you do, I mean, hey, by all means. But I know that for me personally, most men that I talk to, most gentlemen that I talk to, they say, "Oh yeah, I like my women to be submissive, but not all the time." Like,
Yeah,
I
not
don't.
all the time. No.
After a while, that shit becomes irritating.
Yeah, that's true. Because I've kind of had both, and it was like back to back. Like one relationship was like she's very submissive, and she like doing her thing. And I'm like, okay, this is cool, But when I had that other thing where it was like, I was like, hey, okay,
You was like,
this is
hold
that
on a
shit,
minute, wait a minute.
right?
Yeah, but once you find a person that has a balance between the two, I feel like if you can balance both being submissive and dominant while not just in the sex world, but just in general, I feel like that'll be like the best relationship
True.
because there's a balance between the two. You're not trying to one up your partner, and you're not necessarily trying to be beneath your partner either. You guys are in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like that's the best way to do it.
True that.
All right, next question.
When it comes to
We're
this
almost.
whole BDSM,
I'm about to go to the next question.
okay, well, real quick. When it comes to this BDSM thing, right?
Y'all nasty. That's what it is.
Are y'all cool with being tied up and blindfolded?
Yes. Okay. So this is my ultimate fantasy.
Yes, I want to hear this.
So this is what I want to do for my man, like whoever ends up being blessed. I want to take away all senses besides touch. So I'm going to blindfold you. I'm going to put some music playing in your ears so you can't hear shit. All you can rely on is touch. It's creating anticipation for what I'm about to do. And have my way.
I've actually had that happen. I've been blindfolded, and I've been all at the same time. I've been blindfolded. I've been tied up, my hands and my feet.
I feel like it's an
they put fucking headphones in my ear attached to a goddamn cell phone. Had fucking Spotify playing. And every time I felt something touch my body, I couldn't react and touch nothing. I couldn't reach for nothing. I couldn't kick nothing because I was tied the fuck up.
I like that.
It was a wild experience, and it was very enjoyable. But at the same time, it was kind of like, wait a minute, I can't.
You lost control. That's all. You lost control. Like that's where my balance of. I find it hysterical how dudes will smack your ass all the time, but when you smack their ass, they like, whoa.
Hey, why you playing? Alexis, why you playing? It's kind of one of my. Hey, I'm open. I ain't tripping.
Okay, so some guys do like it because I know
Okay,
there's
Hey,
some guys
let
who
me.
are
Can
like,
I ask you a question? Can I ask
no.
you a question, Kenneth? Since you're a male.
sure, go ahead.
Most men will put out being asked this question. How you feel about people playing with your booty hole?
I'll say this. I've never had that before. I've never had that before. I'm just gonna say that.
They gave me
Um,
an extra cookie. They so nice.
I've never had that before. I'm not even. I'll be completely honest. I'm not even sure if I'll be open. I'm not even sure if I'm open to it. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta know what's with anything. I gotta figure out what's going on here. You know what I'm
What
saying?
I heard, from what I heard, you cannot converse with a man when you do it. You just gotta do it. That's what I've heard.
I'll say this.
Yeah, see,
If you
that's
go,
the
I will
quickest
say
way to
this
get
though.
punched in the
I
face,
heard she
though.
was I was watching a podcast and the girl said she was giving him sloppy top. And she said, she just put a little finger down there and he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, there
I'm
has
not
to be.
even
I'll be real with you. There has to be
Oh
some.
my
And
God.
here's the thing. I consider myself to be a very open person. You got that's one of those things where you have to have a diversion, probably. It's especially if he's never done that before. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna say no every time.
There got to be diversion, and honestly, it's one of those things. I'll even be real to you. It, fuck it, I don't care. I know who I am. It's one of those things where you kind of got to work up to it. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to work up to that kind of shit because there's a lot of trust. We got to
That's
trust you.
G spot. I don't understand why. Like that's your G spot.
You, you know what? I figured out something. I will say with one woman that I was with. Certain things I will say this. You're missing out. As men, we're missing out on. That's all I'm gonna say. There's certain things. There's certain things. And some people are like, oh, it makes you gay. It makes you this. I'm like, first of all, know what really the definition of that is, what the true definition of that is. First of all. Second of all, you like what you like, especially if it's with your partner.
Scientifically, that is a man's G spot. It's his ass. So it's like,
That's why we get scared because that's why some niggas,
I'm scared a woman finna snatch y'all soul in the bedroom. That's what it is. Y'all scared.
you know what? I'll say this,
Stay afraid.
yo,
Stay afraid
at,
that's the commitment button.
yo, at this
Oh,
juncture in my life, because I am 30 years old. I'm 30 years old, and I'll just say this: snatch away, snatch away.
so my next question is.
Snatch away.
Next question begins with like a little analogy. So, like, men control the temperature of the home, so consistency is necessary, right? We can't keep doing this hot and cold bullshit.
I know
So,
where you're going with this.
That's out.
why do some men find it difficult at times to achieve being consistent?
Ooh, I know that one off the rip. That's a person who doesn't know what they want, truly. They really don't know what they want, truly. If you
Okay.
want, if you don't, and I know this because I hate to blame it on this whole thing, but as a Libra, I'm very aware that I'm very
Indecisive? Yeah.
indecisive, absolutely, because I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision. But in general, for men, if you find somebody who's hot and cold, yes and no, in you're out, up and you're sorry, Katy Perry moment. There's a whole song with this. But the point of the matter is that's truly a person who didn't know what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes if you feel like you don't know what you want, it can cause a lot of confusion with yourself, but most importantly, the people who are around you. Because you say, I'll give you a prime example. I had a party. I had my 30th birthday party. And I said, yo, my first mind was like, I'm going to throw a 90s pajama jam party. It's going to be fun. We about to house party it out. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be real with you. Another friend of mine was like, no, I think you should throw a 50 Shades type of, freakum party and get sexy with it. Now, knowing me, I know Kenneth. I know I'm a sexy motherfucker at times, but at the same time, I know my lane. I would have
Mhm.
had more fun doing the '90s pajama jam house party shit. I would have had so much more fun rather than do this sex party or quote unquote sex party, and that's not who you know who I am. That's not what I wanted for my 30th birthday party. Now, if I'm with my woman, that's a whole nother thing. Like, hey, it's time to, get it in. But at the same time, I know that's what I wanted. And I should have went with what I wanted. Because sometimes, and I said I'll just say this, men sometimes we let a lot of outside forces dictate what we want and pull us in
Yep.
multiple directions, whether that's our parents, whether that's
Mhm.
your homeboys, your homegirls, whatever, what have you, your own internal battles of what you think you feel like you should want and what defines your manhood. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, that's really what it is. But at the end of the day, it just boils down to someone who has not spent enough time with themselves and truly gotten to know themselves truly and is definitive and solid on exactly what they want.
That boils back to that whole self-love thing.
Mm-hmm.
End of the day.
Like Ari
At the
said,
end of the
self-love
day,
is
all
self-love.
relationships, all your relationships will pretty much show you something if you don't have one self-love and two a relationship with God. If you don't have them two things before you really get into a serious relationship with somebody, you gonna struggle a little bit, just a little bit.
Facts.
That's true.
Last question of the night is what
Hey, have we
is
been on this thing for 2 hours?
girl, I told you time be
That's
going by
crazy.
when we be conversing. We just be going.
For real.
Look, you get hooked on it after a while, especially after you watch back on the videos. Like you start being like, "Oh, what's next week?" I'm telling you, wait for it, just watch. But the last question is, what is too long to be engaged? Is there such a thing?
I'll let y'all go first.
Like for me, if I'm going past 2 years of engagement, I'm gonna be like, what are we doing? But I don't mind. I think it's too much pressure on people to plan a wedding in 1 year. I think it is way too much pressure because you got to find a dress. People don't understand it takes about 6 to 9 months to make sure you got your dress perfectly fitted towards you, and your body changes in between those times. It's
Mm.
like, and again, though, it does depend on how the person wants their wedding, but I'm just talking about a person that's planning a wedding for multiple people to come to. That's too much. It's a lot of pressure. Got to get a
You gotta think
venue,
about the
food,
venue. Gotta think
party
about the food, and
favors,
then who's
dresses,
allergic to what, and who can sit
cake
where, and
tasting,
people's
food
invites,
tasting,
just all kind of
finding a
shit.
DJ. You know, I'm like,
Me
shit.
personally, when it
My
comes to
extra
getting married,
ass sharing a performance with my bridesmaids. I'm performing, baby. I don't care. Me and my bridesmaids, we get ready, Vic and Drew. We will be performing on my reception. So
Oh,
y'all better
word?
get
me
ready because we
personally,
practicing.
me personally, when it comes to the whole wedding thing, I am like a dude when it comes to the whole. I look, you want to plan the wedding, go ahead. Whatever you like, I like. That's all I'm gonna say. That's just I'm not really.
I mean, if my fiance was like that, if he was like, it's in your hands, the only thing I'd be like, you got to be present for is drinks, food, like the main course meal, and like the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you really don't care, I need you to at least try the food and the drinks because for me, like I want a cocktail hour for people before the reception start. I want you to get a little drinky drink. I want you to get a little lit, but it's gonna be like a signature drink that's like kind of tied to the couple, like a special drink. You know what I'm saying?
Alexis, can I say this?
Hmm.
Are we gonna end up being married, low key? Cause like you have everything on my motherfucking list, basically. But proceed,
Look
continue.
at that. Look
Continue.
at
No, but
that.
proceed, continue. That
I'll be
signature drink
there.
is
Like,
genius.
we're gonna work on that dance.
That signature drink, no, but for real,
It's
that signature
somewhere.
drink, that's genius. I like that. That's dope.
Yeah.
Why y'all laugh? Like,
Yeah. So what is too long? What is too long to be engaged, y'all?
I think Drew should answer this one since she's already married.
Oh,
True.
oh,
Her is true.
so this is how it went down. Uh, for me, everybody different. Like, y'all want the whole big wet. I do in the future when but basically we went on this very spiritual journey. So we decided to get, just because he was on the road, we was on the road, and we just decided, it's just me and you getting married. It's just a thing between us, and we can share with everybody later on. But since we already here, we already, committed to each other. And we was reading the Bible a lot, and we didn't want to live in sin no more. So we decided to just, let's go ahead and just do it, so we can be one. And we already live in sin, so let's just go ahead. And it was a very spiritual thing with us. Everybody's different. I want a big wedding sometime in the future, but I'm not really tripping on it right now. As long as I know that we won, I don't really care about all that stuff. It's just material things to me. I don't care about it. But
I
yeah,
want a
I don't know.
small
Shoot.
ceremony
We was
and a
engaged for
fat
about
ass
2 years.
party.
Yes, I'll be there.
Like,
I'll
I'm
be
gonna
there.
keep it a buck. Like, if I could really have it my way, I'd rather have a destination where it's like
Right.
a couple people on a fucking beach. Cause I'm like, I'd rather just deck off as soon as my ceremony over. Be like, oh, I'm already here at my honeymoon. Bye. But
Right.
look, y'all can do what the fuck y'all want to do on this damn island. But what Alexa's about to do is clap cheeks.
Like we about to get their cheeks smacked on.
Yeah.
Word. Word. So
But yeah. Well,
I,
thank y'all. Oh, you got something to say? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I had one. No, you good. I had one. I'll say this as a person who's like in a wedding now and shit, and I'll go ahead and say it. I'm the best man as well. The thing about it is like engagements. I've always had it in my mind that I would give it at least. I know a year is definitely depending, especially like right now, a year is too short. It's too short. In 2 years is damn near pushing it. I would say 2 years is damn near pushing it. So my sweet spot has been 18. 18 months is like hey,
Yeah.
we got to get it popping.
Yeah.
Let's get it popping, my guy. 18 months because like I said, life sometimes happens, and the world is so unpredictable as
18
is.
months. I agree. 18 months, 2 years at the
Mhm.
latest.
Okay,
Because, like you said, things happen, life happens,
Mhm.
But in a
18
perfect
months.
world, I would do a year. Perfect world, a year. Because I'll tell you, I would be so involved with the wedding planning that we wouldn't have to worry about like, oh, I need help with this. No, I got you. If we get married, if I'm supposed to be your husband, like, yo, I'm rocking with you. Yo, I got a venue. Oh, there's a venue. I found these 6 venues. Pick one. Which one do you think is best? Let's go see this one tomorrow. Okay, great. You want mauve in this color? Nah. Okay, I don't like this color. Okay, let's find a color we can depend on. Okay, great. We decide on the food, the drink. Okay, my homeboy's a DJ. Oh, he's great. He gets a great deal. Oh, you like his music? You like the way he plays music? Okay, great. We got him. Look, she's not going through this shit by herself because what I've noticed too is that if you're not involved with the wedding process as a man, sometimes the person can resent you and they can be like, what the hell? You're not helping with the wedding. I feel like I got to do everything on my own. I feel overwhelmed. I don't want to marry you no more.
Only because
That's
they feel like their partner doesn't care enough to be invested. But
exactly.
but that also goes into the fantasy of a marriage where people glorify the ceremony but forget to
Yes,
glorify the longevity and
that's
keeping a
right.
relationship to last. And it's a fantasy thing. And, girls, some of us got to unlearn it, but some women have planned their wedding in their head since the age of 5. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm,
that's also because of the roles that we're taught. Like women, we learn how to play house and all this shit in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? So we were taught very young the traditional role of a woman in a household.
that's
We
right.
watch, we watch all these movies, these princess movies. They looking for them. Let me stop because I'm about to say the motherfucker. We looking for somebody. We looking for somebody to save us, and it's just like you're not finna have no Rapunzel moment. You're not finna have no Cinderella moment where he bring you your glass slipper. Like that's just not realistic.
Right. I feel that.
You ain't turning a frog into a human. Like you are not Tiana. So like some like I am all for keeping the youth within yourself as you get older because you need to keep that youthfulness. Like there's beauty in innocence and having and keeping that youth in your life as you get older. But
Hmm.
that don't mean you gotta hold on to a story.
Right.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
absolutely
Like,
right.
you enjoy it when you enjoy it, but that don't mean you gotta live it.
Yeah, hey, that's true.
So yeah. I don't know where the fuck Vic's face is, but
I'm sorry.
you good, corn. But
Stop that!
I had to say it
Stop
before
that!
I had to say it before I ended the call, man. You know I had to do it. But thank y'all so much for joining on this podcast episode. This is season 2, episode 1. So this is how we welcoming it in for 2 hours. Feel
Hey,
me? Damn near 3. No,
So we
hey.
having another one
close
next
to 2
week or what?
hours. But
We having another one next week or what?
yes, I'm doing them weekly. So if y'all got questions you want to ask on next week's podcast, send them my way and we will gather them all together and converse. It could be different topics. If y'all want to talk about the same shit and be like, hey, I want to continue this conversation from last week, we can do that.
This
That's
is a
about
good
it.
conversation.
But yeah, I'm about to stop the recording. Hold on.